We'll see guns, knives, and watches. And of course, we know about the ZT-0550 Gen 3 because we watched the other video and know that it's basically out of specification now, baby. And it rattles, this, there, or the other. One thing I didn't mention in the other video is it's still centering perfectly. So it's not a dimensional shift. You know, you would think that it would have just shifted a little bit. Not really, man. So, plus it wasn't that kind of load that would have caused that kind of shift. It is the kind of load that will cause things to become compressed, bent, and stressed out, man. But zero tolerance, I'm sure I'll fix it. I went through the whole crap of the warranty repair thing and this, there, the other, And is this about the 0550? No. But you do notice this 0550 has an over travel stop. It has the clip that actually is on the frame lock, but it has everything else. It is what it is. This is an old design, been discontinued. We know that. But this one hasn't. This is a very new design. This is Emerson's design. Got that there, man. Flippity thing, man. Also opens beer bottles really well. So this is zero tolerance interpretation of an Emerson design, and flick it out, man. But anyway, of course the material, the craftsmanship on the blade is quite a bit higher on this one. I'll give you this one to compare it to. You gotta know, ZT, just like every other manufacturer, evolves this, there, or the other, and hopefully gets better. One thing I do like about it is there's actually a nut here, and that has the correct hexagonal there, but anyway, things you noticed are gone are the over travel stop, and the clip no longer sits on the frame lock. Also doesn't have that deep carry pocket clip, but you know, can't have everything. Emerson, of course, is popular for this type of their retention device. Now, and you know, the Benchmade's this, there, the other. It wasn't his first shooting match either. You also notice that we have perfect centering, same way we do with our 0550, and we still have our metal insert. I don't exactly know what type of metal that is, so I'm not really going to comment on it, but it's removable and replaceable, which is what they will probably do to this knife here. Plus it needs a little bit more retention there, because it just doesn't want to stay there. Now this one, on the other hand, has quite a bit more I guess preload put into the actual frame lock, but we don't have our over travel stop. Now, why am I harping on, or why did I say about the clip location being different? Part of this knife's actual tension on the lock bar comes from the clip itself, similar to Chris Reeves, the Sabenza, the this, the that, the other. So that's actually it's placing a force on that frame lock. Now, this one, on the other hand, doesn't have any of that. One thing I do like about this Emerson design is its overall thickness. It's just a little bit thinner, and I'm cool with that. I'll give you a visual comparison. It's just a few millimeters, but that thinner is better in my world. Blade's also longer. Was the over travel stop on the frame lock necessary? It is if you try to take a lot of material out of right here. But Chris Reeves doesn't have an over travel stop. Emerson doesn't put them on any of his. Of course, his are all liner locks, except for the ones that are not, and this there, the other. The overall feel of this knife in the hand it's classic Emerson. You've got a really good basically stop right there, to where that if you do stab something, you go into something solid, your hand won't go up onto the blade of the knife. And hopefully we can get this 0550 repaired and then see how this one works out. Cost of these two knives are very comparable, but except for the pocket clip, which I really prefer this pocket clip, this knife is much more refined. Not because it's an Emerson so much design, but because they're taking these design cues, the things they learned off these knives, and applying them all to their modern design. Now, would I like to have that over travel stop? Yeah, I would. You know, you notice we have 3 standoffs right there. I think that's what those are called. Don't ask a dyslexic to tell you some stupid shit like that. And you only have 2 here, which is, you know, another classic Emerson. Of course, you've got your pins, 3 pins, and then your bolt through it. Stop pin in both directions. 1 for close, 1 for open, G10. Does it feel good in the hand? Yeah, but this 550 never really felt that bad. And you know, I hate to sit there and say it, to tell you the God's honest truth, and this is kind of hard flipping. That's another thing I've noticed about this knife. Of course, it's new, but there's a lot of retention, blade retention in this knife. I mean, you go from, you know, just all kinds of resistance to it's flying open. Now, this does not have the ball bearings that Kai and Zero Tolerance are known for, because I really don't like moving parts. I don't like too many pieces. When you start having too many pieces in something, you basically screw it up, because you're over-engineering things. It's like buying a Mercedes and thinking that you're going to have something that's basically easy to maintain, easy to operate, this, there, the other. No, you just bought a money pit, and it is just the way it is. I mean, that's like last night. I had a emotional breakdown about 1:32 in the morning, because that's when my day starts. You're latter into my day now, and because I realized that Paperstone, which is a product that has come on the market, is a phenolic resin. Okay. And phenolic resins, most of the time, the majority of the time, are made with formaldehyde. Why is that important? Well, give me a second. Because that right there is a phenolic resin on top of this Dave Canterbury Pathfinder bottle. Bakelite. Bakelite is actually the original polymer used in manufacturing this, there, the other, and Paperstone, like Bakelite, is a phenolic resin. And I don't know what this is made out of. I'm not saying one's, you know, it is made with formaldehyde, but in anything you're going to heat, i.e., we're still putting in a coffee shop, but we pay for things as we get them done, and the building's free, so it really doesn't matter, because we were using it for storage and using it for all kinds of crap before. We're still using it for all of that now, but it's just under construction going on around it. When you have machines that are at 200 degrees all day, every day, they never get turned off, well, that's when plastics are going to off gas. So basically I had a fucking horror breakdown. But that's life. Just a side note of my day. Now, one of my subscribers who doesn't have a YouTube Google Plus page, so that there's no way to actually respond or link a comment, and it's Gray Man something or other, and it's one of those dyslexic things, plus I really don't know much about names or care, asked about a cold steel as opposed to the ZTs, and as opposed to a lot like this old Buck Tarani, which I bought discontinued at the mall down in Nashville, Tennessee. Opry Mills Mall, by the way. They don't have a good knife store there anymore, but you used to be able to buy closeout stuff there. You used to also be able to buy closeout cast iron and shit. And I wouldn't want to know what the chemical composition of that stuff is, but it works. Is the cold steel stronger? Well, yeah. That's not even a question. But it's just it's simple. Good design. Took forever for people to come up with it. Would I have been able to come up with it? Oh, hell no. I'll overcomplicate a turd. It's just the way it is. And I wish it was made in the United States, but that's neither here nor there. So these knives, a lot of things, like most things in life, basically comes down to what do you like, what's your style, what's this, there, or the other, and what are you trying to say? Because your knife basically is an accessory, just like a watch, just like this, just like that. I can, seriously, and I've shown this before, one of my favorite knives, and I've carried this sumbitches and do almost everything around a job site and this, there, or the other with, is a Firefly. Flying Falcon, which this is one of those made in China dollar knives, and I carried these for years. Bought them off one of those home shopping channel things in the middle of the night, just because I just wanted to, it's like, sure. And man, I keep these things and have used them and got them out of specification and beat them back to where there's a pivot and all that crap, and it's just the way it is, man. But I got to get back to work. Are we getting this knife fixed? Of course. I wish I could beat the hell out of this knife. It's not mine, but we'll see how things work out. Hopefully I'll be able to give me one. This is Guns, Knives, and Watches, and the Zero Tolerance from Emerson. And what model is this? This is the Emerson, the 0630. Yeah, the 0630. The 0620 has a Tonto blade on it, or a modified Tonto. I don't know. Shit, whatever. I really like this one a little bit easier to sharpen, easier for me. Don't have that much time to put into it, but let's see how they work on this one, and we'll move forward. It's Guns, Knives, and Watches, and these cost a couple $100. This costs $1. Can you do the same thing with both of them? Yes and no. A lot of this gets back to what your style is, what you prefer, this, there, or the other. If you want something just ultimate strength, cost affordability, these cold steel, whatever the hell this is I don't know, it's carpenter steel something or other. Oh, Recon 1. Yeah, there we go. It'd probably be the way to go if you're just trying to get the strongest knife in value. But like I said, even in the cold steel, I would prefer to get the older knife at a markdown of $46 or $50, and then wait for these carpenter steel ones to come. Carpenter steel may be a really great steel, and it's a super steel, and it's this and it's that, and da 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 da. But in the end of the day, I'm going to beat the hell out of the knife. So is the extra $50 to me worth the additional steel that I'm going to screw up anyway? I don't know. This is Guns, Knives, and Watches, and have a good one.